we started with English lyrics, and as a German band, we said, "Hey, let's go to England. Let's prove to ourselves if we're really good enough, you know, and not just to compete with German bands in Germany, but let's go to England and compete with English bands, you know. Can we redo this? Can we play in places like the Cavern in Liverpool, or can we play the Marquee in London?"
We always had good relationships to all these other bands like Van Halen, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, all this kind of band. It was like a rock and roll family, which we didn't have in Germany, because in Germany the music was different, the message was different, and we couldn't really we didn't understand the German message so much. We was more a global player. We was global thinking people.
Virgin Killer became like a gold record in Japan, and we went in '78 for the first time to Tokyo and played there. And I think after playing a lot of countries all over Europe in clubs and everywhere where there was electricity, I think that was our first step into the world of international music.
The first album we've done together was Love Drive, which came out in early '79 and was the first worldwide release. They had a big success with Tokyo Tapes in Japan before, in like actually the year I joined. It was Uli's last album with the Scorpions, and since then we went to Japan again. We went to America for the first time, which was very, very important for the band's career.
Well, we also, of course, started like as the opening act, supporting bands like AC/DC, Ted Nugent, and later on Rainbow, and a lot of other people. And then from '82 on, we were headlining ourselves in America, and we played every arena in the States you just can think of.
And Gorbachev was still in power, and invited us to the Kremlin, and you must think about it. When you are growing up behind the Iron Curtain, you heard all the stories, you know the history of what you saw in magazines, in TV. So, and then you coming to this place. We had a great time, and for me it was something, the highlight, because we was showing that music don't know borders in this case. That's what we always was believing in, and that was a very special moment.
We played, for example, like Rock in Rio in '85. There was like 350,000 people. It was like a great show. Or the US Festival, very famous show in San Bernardino near Los Angeles, like again more than 300,000. And Moscow Music Peace Festival, we played the Lenin Stadium twice, like 120,000 people each day. And we've played so many like big shows, but sometimes like smaller shows are like even more exciting. So it depends. We had so many shows. Madison Square Garden, which I mentioned, was definitely a highlight. And so many things to remember. It's amazing. And this career has definitely been full of highlights, every tour, so many. It's very nice. We can never do without our classics, and we have to do Still Lovin' You, we have to do Wind of Change, we have to do Rock You Like a Hurricane or Send Me an Angel, and some of them we've done for the Berlin Philharmonic's album already, but still we can't do without them. And this gives us a chance, this project, to really do songs we normally don't play on stage. Like some of the old classics. And there's even a song from 1976 from the album Virgin Killer. It's called Catch Your Train, which is a real rocker. But now it sounds more like almost like a honky-tonk bar arrangement. And it's fun though. And so we have like lots of old songs and 2 cover versions. Scorpions are not really known for doing cover versions. As far as I remember, we only did one, which was Can't Explain from The Who, which we did in the context for the Moscow Music Peace Festival, the album that came out. I think it was called Stairway to Heaven, Highway to Hell or something, and we contributed a song. It was for a good cause, for charity event. And but other than that, we don't normally do cover versions. So we have two in our like backpack now. One is Dust in the Wind from Kansas, and the other one is Drive from the Cars. And then we have a couple of new songs, 4 or 5. I couldn't tell you really how many we will record because we have altogether almost 30 songs. I think 27, 28 songs. It's a lot of songs for one show.
I think it was 3 weeks ago or something. One of our guitar roadies called me and said, "You know what do you think about Flying V acoustic guitar?" No? I said, yes, because I wanted already a long time ago. I said, I have the man who can do that because he is ready for it. He liked to do this and he has the right wood and everything. And I said, yeah, okay, let's give me a telephone number. And I called him and we talked about it and we had the same ideas, same things. Then I had to give him the whole inlays of what kind of ideas around this acoustic hole. I said, I would like to have the scorpions, one scorpions next to the other and stuff. So, and he understood me very well. I understood him, and I believed that this guy can make this guitar. And I said, can you do it in 3 weeks? He said, it's very, very short time, but I think I can do it. It's good to have something special. I mean, I like different guitars. I have a double neck acoustic guitar also, and it's also for people when we do the DVD that people can see there's different guitars and different atmospheres and stuff like this, and that's good because people like different and unusual things. No?
It's not so much of you scream your way through this whole thing. You know, this is more about a great performance. This is about musicianship. This is about singing and singing great, you know, and songs like Send Me an Angel, Still Loving You, they don't need a screaming voice. What they need is a voice that shines, you know, that travels or that cuts like a knife, you know, but that also means your voice has to be in the best shape. Otherwise, you better don't touch a project like this. Man, I would do anything, you know, anything that my voice want me to do, you know, in order to be in the best shape, you know, I would do. I'm ready. And that's the reason probably I'm still here and I'm still singing. And that's because I enjoyed so much, and of course because of the history that I went through back in '82.
I didn't expect that we could play this music for this long. I know that we will make a career worldwide. My brother did it with a different band. I mean, that must be something in the blood. I don't know, but. And also chemistry-wise with people to stay together for this many years, because it's like a marriage, you know. I mean, we are more often together than I'm with my family. In this case, we was lucky to find the right people who we can live together with, go on tour, because the worst thing is when you go on tour and you have people around you you don't like, you know, then the whole music is not fun anymore. In this case, we did the right moves, and we still exist, and here we are.
We still can say we are friends, and that's a good thing, and that's a very solid foundation for the whole Scorpions operation and for the Scorpions career. And of course, the fact that we know there are a lot of fans out there around the world that want the Scorpions to come back and that want the Scorpions to keep going. I think it's a good motivation. It's also, we see the history of Scorpions, it's a very unique history for a German band. And there are not so many bands that have this long career and still keep going, like Aerosmith, for example, you know, which is a band in our generation, you know, that still keeps going. And there's something that where you feel you're connected with this history, and it's something you don't just throw away. That's a whole new experience for us. But as long as we can find this nerve, and as long as we can find moments like this, you know, it's great to keep going. And you appreciate really to be a musician.
I'm more into the situation that I even work harder now than I did 20 years ago, because now I know what I can do. For 20 years ago, we hope what we're doing, it will grow, but now I know how you can do it and how you have to do it to make it successful. In this case, it's a challenge again and again. And that's a good situation. Instead of saying, no, now I'm lying on a beach somewhere and do nothing. What is nothing? Nothing means your life becomes empty.
To be a musician it's a profession, but it's not like a job. It is something, it's more your life than anything. So if you think about like blues musicians, you know, they more or less die on stage. You know, some of them like John D. Hooker is like, I don't know, 85, 86, 87, and still playing. There is not really a reason to stop. You know, I couldn't imagine that we would just, after so many years, it's more than half of my lifetime now, and I'm doing this professionally, that I would like stop one day. Even this one day is maybe in 10 years. I couldn't imagine this. The same goes like for the other guys. I think even if we would announce, like theoretically now, that we would have a break or we would just finish now, that it's such a major that probably a couple of weeks later the first guy would like start calling, hey, should we do another one or whatever, you know? So it's so hard to imagine to not do it. That is, you know, like on a personal level as well as on the musical level. That's, you know, it's like, I don't even think about that.